Greetings and salutations, everyone. This is Rollinwolf coming at you with another episode of Let's Talk Daggerheart Beta 1.5. We are in the midst of class discussions. This is episode 7. We're talking about druids in this one, so let's get into it. Very quickly, we just need to go over our copyright notice. This product was created using the Darrington Press Community Gaming License, the Illuminated World Standard Resource Document, Darrington Press LLC, all rights reserved. Specifically, we're talking the Beta 1.5 rule set. The finished product is due out in the spring of 2025, and I will be updating and providing content based on the full rules once I have it in my hot little hands. I hope you're having a good day. And I hope you have the opportunity to make somebody else's day better today, and you do so. Spread a little light and love. Let's get into druids. So what does the beta have to say about the druid class? Becoming a druid is more than an occupation. It's a calling to those who wish to learn from and protect the magic of the wilderness. Those druids who practice the often quiet work of channeling flora are likely to be underestimated, while those who channel the brutal forces of animals may be a terrifying force to behold. Druids are known to cultivate their abilities in small groups, often connected by a specific ethos or a locale. Through years of study and dedication, druids can learn to transform into beasts and shape the earth and all its organisms. A iconic fantasy class that once again, Darrington Press has done a great job of capturing, I think, the iconic things about druids. And in there, definitely the sage domain, I think it's got a lot of iconic abilities, and I think if you're a fan of druids or nature type characters, I think the choices you have at your disposal in Daggerheart are really, really nice. So you've got druids. They have the sage and arcane domains. Their starting evasion score is going to be an 8. Damage thresholds, major is 7, severe is 14. Class items, you get a small bag of rocks and bones, or a strange pendant found in the dirt. Those are your two options here. Neither of those appeal to you. Work with your game master on seeing what other things you could supplement or have in exchange of one of those items. Remember that your class items are things that are going to help you inform your narrative, shall we say, and inform the fiction towards your class and the character that you want to build. The hope ability for druids. You can spend 3 hope while in beast form to increase your damage thresholds by 3 until you drop your form. So spend 3 hope, increase your damage thresholds while in beast form by +3. Pretty nice. The class features for druids. Wild touch. You can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature at will. So this is flavoring the fiction in ways that allow you to represent your connection and symbiotic relationship with nature and the mystical energies that flow through and from nature. For example, you could cause a flower to grow rapidly, summon a gust of wind, start a campfire. These little magical things that let you convey the mystical nature of your druid into the fiction. That's one feature. The second feature is beast form. You can mark a stress to transform into a magical creature of your level or lower from the beast form list. While transformed, you can't use your weapons or cast any spells, but you gain the features, attack traits, and evasion bonus of that creature. You can drop out of this form at any time. When in beast form, your armor becomes part of your body, and you mark armor slots as usual. When you drop out of beast form, those marked slots remain marked. You don't get a new set of armor in beast form or out of beast form. You just get to still use your armor while in beast form. If you mark your last hit point or stress, this form automatically does drop. So whenever you go unconscious or you lose all your stress, lose all your hit points, you do revert to your natural form, your regular ancestry. Your subclass choices, which as we go down, once we go through this, we'll go through and look at the beast forms available to you, at least through tier 1. We may look at the level 2 options as well, just to see what you have to look forward to immediately after you've leveled up that first time. But let us move on to the subclasses. Well, actually, let's go ahead and let's scroll down to the beast forms, okay? Because that's going to cover both. You get beast form as a druid. So let's go ahead and knock that out. Beast form. Whenever you use beast form, you choose a creature category of your level or lower. At your GM's discretion, you can describe yourself as transforming into any animal that reasonably fits within that category. Though you can't use your equipment or spells while transformed, you can still use other features or abilities your character has access to, such as using your Wild Touch class feature, or some other ability. You cannot use spells, but right there it says abilities or other features can be used. So tier 1, you've got your agile scouts. Examples include fox, mouse, weasel, etc. What do you get while beast formed into an agile scout? You get a +1 to your agility. Your bite melee agility is D4. That will go up your proficiency. And then evasion of +2. You get to take advantage on deceiving, locating, and sneaking. You are agile, your movement is silent, and you may spend hope to get anywhere within far range without needing to make a roll. You are also fragile. When you take major damage or greater, you drop your beast form. Notice you also get that +2 bonus to your evasion, so that's going to help you not get hit. If you increase your damage thresholds, that will also make it harder for you to take major damage. So maybe something that you want to consider whenever going into that scout form because of the fragile nature. Let's see. So you've got your agile scout at tier 1. You've got your household friends. This includes dogs, rats, cats, rabbits, etc. Think of maybe common pets or small animals that may be around the home. You get a +1 to your instinct. Your melee is a instinct. Uses your melee attack uses instinct while you are in a household friend form. It does D6 damage. You get a +2 to your evasion. You get to take advantage on climbing, locating, and protecting. You also have the companion feature. When you assist another PC, the advantage dice you roll is a D8. Household friends are also fragile. When you take major damage or greater, you drop your beast form. Next we have, under tier 1, the nimble grazer, deer, goat, gazelle, etc. +1 to your agility. Melee is agility based. D6 on the die. You get an evasion of +3 if you choose a nimble grazer. You get to take advantage on leaping, sneaking, and sprinting. You get the elusive prey feature. When you would be hit by an attack, you may mark stress and roll a 1d4 and add the result to your evasion for this attack. So you potentially can get out the way. You are also fragile as a nimble grazer. We know that means that if you take major damage or greater, you're going to drop your beast form. Next we have the pack predator. Wolves, coyotes, hyenas, etc. Some other animal that would fall into a pack predator type category. You get to add a +2 to your strength. Your melee is a strength-based attack that does a d8 +2 physical, and you get a +1 to your evasion. You get to take advantage on attack rolls, sprinting, and tracking as a pack predator. You get the pack hunting feature. When you make an attack roll on the same target as an ally right before you, may add an additional d8 to the damage dice pool. Then you also have the hobbling strike feature. When you hit with a melee attack, you may mark a stress to mark the target temporarily vulnerable. From there, you've got Aquatic Scout in tier 1. This includes fish, eel, and octopus. You've got a +1 to your agility. Your melee is an agility roll. A damage is d4 physical. Evasion of +2. Take advantage on navigate, sneaking, and swimming. You're aquatic. You can breathe and move naturally underwater while in this form. You are fragile as well. Whenever you take major damage or greater, you're going to drop your beast form. And then finally in tier 1, you have the stalking arachnid. These are tarantula, wolf spiders, etc. You got a +1 to finesse. Melee finesse. Melee is going to be a finesse based attack. Does a d6 +1 physical damage. You get a +2 to your evasion. You get to take advantage on attacks, climbing, and sneaking. You have the feature Web Slinger. You have the ability to create strong web material that can be useful in both adventuring and battle. It is resilient enough to support a single creature. You may make a target within close range restrained by making a successful finesse roll against them. Your second feature as the stalking arachnid is to have a venomous bite. When you hit with a melee attack, target becomes temporarily envenomated. It's an interesting word, envenomated. An envenomated character takes 1d10 physical direct damage each time they act. This condition cannot stack, so it does not stack. Once you're envenomated, you are envenomated. Cannot get bit multiple times to stack that damage. It would be a status effect that the game master will have to clear using their resources to do so. Those are your tier 1 beast forms. Tier 2, we are going to cover real quick, just because these are the ones that you will have access to whenever you level up to level 2. So we're looking at Armored Sentinel as your first option. These include armadillos, pangolins, turtles, etc. You get a +1 to your strength. Your melee is a strength-based attack doing d8 +2 physical. You've got a +1 to your evasion. You get to take advantage on digging, protecting, and locating. You have the feature Armored Shell. You have resistance to physical damage. You may also mark an armor slot to tuck into your armor If you do, physical damage is also reduced by your armor score after being halved, but you can't perform any other action except for moving without leaving this form. So if you use the shell, your armored shell, it's active as long as you don't do anything else than move. Your second feature is Cannonball. You can mark stress to be thrown or launched at an opponent. An ally makes an attack roll with agility or strength against a target within close range. On a success, it's a d12 plus 2 damage using the thrower's proficiency. If there is another enemy very close to the target, on a success, you can also spend a hope to ricochet off the original target and hit the second for half the damage. So that's pretty nice little feature there. Your second tier 2 beast form is the brutish beast. This would include bears, bulls, moose, etc. Plus 1 strength. Melee is a strength-based attack. D10 plus 4 physical damage. Evasion is plus 3. You get to take advantage on Navigate, Scare, and Protect. You have the Rampage feature. When you are rolling damage from an attack, for every 1 you roll, you may roll another d10 and add it to your damage roll before making an attack roll. You can mark a stress to gain plus 1 proficiency to the attack. So, prior to making the attack roll, you can choose to mark a stress, and if you do, your proficiency is an additional, you get to add 1 to your proficiency total. Whenever you do successfully hit, you roll, for every 1 you roll on those d10, you get to add another d10 and roll those and add that to your total. The other ability that you get, the other feature you get from the brutish beast is the thick hide. You increase your damage threshold by 2 in this form. So your damage thresholds automatically bump up. Sounds like a fairly beefy, tanky kind of beast form, especially with the plus 3 automatically to your evasion. You're not going to be easily hit. And then whenever you do get hit, you've got that thick hide. Not bad. You've got your next category in tier 2 is the Mighty Strider. Examples include camels, horses, zebras, etc. You get plus 1 to agility. Your attacks are melee, agility based, d8 plus 1 physical damage, and then you get a plus 2 to your evasion. You get to take advantage on leaping, navigating, and sprinting. Your features are carrier. You can carry up to 2 willing allies whenever you move. And you get the trample feature. You may mark a stress to move up to close range in a straight line and make a melee attack against every target you pass in that movement. Each target hit takes d8 plus 1 physical using your proficiency and is knocked down, becoming temporarily vulnerable. The next beast form in tier 2 is the Striking Serpent. Includes vipers, cobras, rattlesnakes, etc. You get a plus 1 to your finesse while in this form. You get finesse as a very close, not melee, but a very close attack. It does d8 plus 4 physical, and you have an evasion of plus 2. You get to take advantage on attack rolls, climbs, and deceiving rolls while in this beast form. And you have the feature Venomous Strike. Strike out at any targets within very close range. Any you are successful against are temporarily envenomated. An envenomated character takes 1d10 physical damage, physical direct damage each time they act. This condition cannot stack. So Striking Serpent allows you to strike out at any targets within very close range. So you can kind of do a multi-attack with this at tier 2. And another solid option. You've also got Pouncing Predator. These include cheetahs, lions, panthers, etc. You get a +1 to your instinct. Melee, your attack is melee range. Instinct for the attribute. D8 +6 physical for the damage. Evasion +3. You get to take advantage on attack rolls, climbing, and sneaking if you choose the Pouncing Predator. You get the features Fleet. You can spend Hope to move anywhere within far range without needing to make a check. You also get the feature Takedown. You can mark a stress to move into melee range with a target and make a basic attack against them. On a success, you take +2 proficiency on the damage and cause the target to mark a stress. And then finally, in tier 2, you have access to the winged beasts, ravens, hawks, owls, etc. +1 to your finesse, melee attack, finesse based, D4 +2 physical damage, evasion is +3. You get to take advantage on deceiving, locating, and scaring. You've got bird's eye view as a feature. You can fly at will in this form. When you're flying and look down at the landscape below in an attempt to understand a situation better, make an action roll. On a success, you gain new useful information. Take advantage when you or an ally make a roll to act on this information. Hollow Bones is the other feature. You reduce your damage threshold by -2 in this form. So while you're in the winged beast form, your damage thresholds actually go down because your bones are hollow. You gotta fly. So that covers both the tier 1 beast forms and the tier 2 beast forms that you will immediately have access to. We're not going to go over tier 3 or tier 4. Those will come later in the game, and you will have plenty of time to look at those at your discretion. We're now going to move into the subclass choices for Druid. In the beta, we've got 2 options, as with all classes. The first one being the Warden of the Elements. The beta says, play the Warden of the Elements if you want to embody the natural elements of nature. Your spellcasting trait is Instinct if you choose the Warden of the Elements. Your foundation feature is Elemental Incarnation. You can mark a stress to embody an elemental spirit from the list below. The embodiment lasts until you take severe damage or until your next short rest. Feature can overlap with beast form. So yes, you can activate your beast form and activate your elemental form to be an elemental beast. Your options, whenever you choose your elemental incarnation, for fire, when an enemy in melee range deals damage to you, they also take 1d10 of magic damage. Earth, you get to gain a +1 to your armor score. Water, whenever you deal damage to an enemy in melee range. All other enemies within very close range mark a stress. They were in the splash zone. And then air, you can hover, gaining advantage on agility rolls. You also, so that's your foundation feature. Once you specialize, if you choose to, you'll have that option starting at 5th level in tier 3. Once per short rest, while in elemental art incarnation, you can assume an elemental aura matching your embodied element. The aura's effects apply within your close range, following you until elemental incarnation ends. For fire, whenever an enemy marks at least 1 hit point, they also mark a stress. For earth, all your allies within close range gain +1 to their armor scores. For water, after an enemy deals damage to you, you can mark a stress to move them anywhere within very close range. And finally, specialization of air. When you or an ally take damage from an attack beyond melee range, you can reduce it by 1d8. Mastery feature is available to you if you have selected the specialization feature during tier 3 and you continue to focus on this subclass. You will become a master of the elements if you choose to. And so when in your elemental incarnation, you further embody the spirit and gain the following benefits for that element. Now remember, specialization features, those are ones per short rest you can apply anytime while you're in your incarnation. The mastery features simply state that while you're in your incarnation, now your elemental feature gives you the following. Whenever you choose fire, your proficiency increases by +1 for all attacks and spells that deal damage. Earth, when you mark an armor slot, you roll 1d6. On a roll of 5 or 6, you can clear an armor slot. Water, when you are hit by an attack, you can mark a stress to make the attacker vulnerable. And finally, air, you gain a +1 to your evasion and you can fly. So that covers the Warden of the Elements. The second subclass in the beta is the Warden of Renewal. Play the Warden of Renewal if you want to use powerful magic to heal your party members. You want to be that healer-focused character. This is a very good option if that's the role you want to take, and you will quickly see why. Spellcast trait for the Warden of Renewal is Instinct. Your foundation features are Clarity of Nature. Once per long rest, you can create a space of natural serenity around you. After spending a few minutes resting within the space, you can clear stress equal to your instinct trait, distributed as you choose between you and your allies. You also get regeneration. You use an action and spend 3 hope to clear 1d4 hit points on a creature you are touching. So that is straight up you're exchanging 3 hope anytime you want to, whenever you have 3 hope, to basically give someone 1 to 4 hit points back. You do have to be touching them. Specialization feature for the Warden of Renewal. You can now use regeneration on a creature within very close range instead of touching. So this gives you the ability to catch more allies without having to be right next to them. You also gain Warden's Protection whenever you choose to specialize, which states once per long rest, you can use an action to magically repair armor outside of downtime. When you do so, you or one ally in your close range can clear a number of armor slots equal to your instinct. Not bad at all. I think that will come in it's a very handy feature, either to use on yourself or to use on an ally in the party that is, perhaps you've got a guardian or a warrior that is very much, or even a seraph. Someone that is very tanky, that is doing the brunt of protecting some of the weaker characters in the party. This is a great ability to use on them whenever their armor is getting low, or use on yourself while in beast form or at any time. Nice, useful ability. Your mastery feature for your Warden of Renewal. Your animal transformation embodies a healing guardian spirit. While you are in beast form, when an ally within close range marks 2 or more hit points, you can mark a stress to reduce the amount of hit points they mark by 1. It's a big one. Definitely, you can see right there that if you want to play the healer, Warden of Renewal is a very good choice to make. The Sage domain has a lot of healing and buff type options available as well. So that covers our 2 subclasses. We're going to go now into the background questions. Oh, excuse me. So background questions. Answer the following background questions or create your own. It gives us 3 here. So the first one is, why was the community you grew up in so reliant on nature and its creatures? So that allows you to, if you're playing a character that you want to portray as coming from an environment, a community that is very nature orientated, it is part of your story for your character. It's a good way to get in and start working on that background. Your second option, what was the first bond you made with a wild animal? Why did it end? More fodder for your GM. Finally, who has been trying to hunt you down? What do you think they want from you? So those are 3 very solid options. If you are stuck on trying to work on background stuff, easily could start with any of those or all of those. You could use those to inspire your own. But there you have your background questions for Druids. Your connection options that it has. What did you confess to me that makes me leap out into danger for you every time? So this is a way for you to provoke a connection to a different character in the party that they have obviously shared some sort of confidence with you on something that's going on that makes you want to defend and protect them. Your second option, what animal do I tell you that you remind me of? So this is allowing someone else to kind of dictate how you perceive them animalistically. And remember, this is a collaborative process. Both parties need to buy in order for it to be a confirmed connection. Who has been trying to... What affectionate nickname have you given me? So, what affectionate nickname have you given me? That is another connection option there. So those are your 3 examples for Druids. You can take those or leave them. Definitely some solid choices there if you are needing that inspiration for some connections. So looking at the level up options, we see once again at level 2 you get to take an additional experience and increase your proficiency by +1. That's going to be, I do believe, standard for all of the classes. You're going to get that option at level 2 automatically. And then 2, 3, and 4, tier 2, you get to choose 2 available options from the list below. You've got the same 3 boxes for increasing 2 unmarked character traits by +1 and then marking them. You've got 1 of the standard, we're not going to go over these every time. You've got the standards, the hit points, stress, increase 2 experiences by +1, permanently add 1 armor slot, add 1 to your evasion. You can spend 1, you got 1 box that will allow you to get an additional domain card at your level or lower. You got 2 options to increase your major damage threshold by 1, 2 options to increase your severe damage threshold by 1, And then at the end, once you've made your selections, you then increase your severe damage threshold by 2, and you choose a new domain deck card at your level or lower. Once again, once you get to tier 3, you've got those 2 options that increase your proficiency by a +1, or multi-class option, which takes both of your choices for that level. You gotta fill in both boxes. It fills it up, and then you got your level, your tier 4 as well. Those are, like I said, we're not going to go over the tier 3s and 4s. And looking back at the Bard real quickly, it looks like their tier 1 choices are the same as the tier 1 choices for the Druid. This may not be universal, so we're going to go over them, but we're only going to mention the differences from this point going forward in the episodes. I don't think that it is necessary to go over them individually every time. Let's see. Then we've gone over the beast form information. And that pretty much is going to wrap up our Druid episode. And we will be back once we've gone through our usual process. We're going to carry on, and we're going to knock out Guardians next. These are the tankiest of tanks that ever wanted to tank. So we'll see you next time. And you have a good one. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you like this content and would like to support me, you can find a PayPal donations link both on YouTube and in PayPal. And if you're looking for a Daggerheart campaign to play in, keep an eye on Start Playing. I will be setting up 4 campaigns that are going to have session zeros in basically we're gonna start them after the election. I got a handful of things that I would like to do to prepare for that, make sure that I've got all of my ducks in a row and am prepared to run everything to the best of my ability. But we will have, starting the Friday, which I believe is the 8th, I'm going to do a campaign on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. I think I'm going to set my Sunday game up a little bit earlier to encourage families or younger people to be able to play in that one. And then we are also going to do a game on Tuesdays for a total of 4 campaigns. Each campaign will have a maximum of 6 players, so that's 24 possibilities to jump into a Daggerheart campaign with yours truly as the game master. Look for them to pop up and appear on Start Playing in the coming days. Maybe by the end of the evening here, we're going to focus today on getting these episodes for character creation completed. So we will see, but either late tonight or tomorrow, I would expect those listings to be up. My profile on Start Play is Rollinwolf, aka John, and I am charging $25 a session for my services. I am trying to make a living doing the streaming, and would like to do professional GMing. These things do not work out, then I will be needing to gain gainful employment outside of that. So hopefully there is interest, and I can be covered and stay focused on the entrepreneurial endeavors that I would like to partake in. And hopefully, if you're interested, look me up and sign up. I would love to play with you, and am very excited to tell some stories and sagas with some folks. So have a good day. We'll see you here after a bit. This is Rollinwolf signing off for now. See you soon.